Hello there everyone, your friendly librarian here, and I'm coming to you on the last day of Banned Books Week 2020. I hope you have enjoyed our programming this week, a little extra something in your advisory. Next week we'll be back to business as usual with the weekly library news. So today I'm going to dive right into it. We've got a couple of things going on today. So I've got two guest readers to share with you. And then following this video, we will be having a Kahoot live trivia afterwards. And of course that is optional if you choose to participate. So, first up, I've got a guest from the Oliver Wolcott Library. This is Tricia Moore, the youth librarian, and she's going to share with you one of her favorite banned books.
Hi everyone, I'm Tricia Moore, the Youth Services Librarian at the Oliver Wolcott Library here in Litchfield. And this year, for Banned Books Week, I would like to share a story from one of my favorite frequently challenged books, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz. So this story is called The Girl Who Stood on a Grave. Some boys and girls were at a party one night. There was a graveyard down the street, and they were talking about how scary it was. "Don't ever stand on a grave after dark," one of the boys said. "The person inside will grab you. He'll pull you under." "That's not true," one of the girls said. "It's just a superstition." "I'll give you $1 if you stand on a grave," said the boy. "A grave doesn't scare me," said the girl. "I'll do it right now." The boy handed her his knife. "Stick this knife in one of the graves," he said. "Then we'll know you were there." The graveyard was filled with shadows and was as quiet as death. "There is nothing to be scared of," the girl told herself, but she was scared anyway. She picked out a grave and stood on it. Then quickly she bent over, plunged the knife into the soil, and she started to leave. But she couldn't get away. Something was holding her back. She tried a second time to leave, but she couldn't move. She was filled with terror. "Something has got me," she screamed, and she fell to the ground. When she didn't come back, the others went to look for her. They found her body sprawled across the grave. Without realizing it, she had plunged the knife through her skirt and had pinned it to the ground. It was only the knife that held her. She had died of fright. I hope you enjoyed that story. It's a fun one, like all of them, nice and spooky and lots of fun. So, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz. And I will see you next year for Banned Book Week.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Trish, for sharing that with us. I know I am definitely spooked out from that story. I also want to give a shout out to Miss Trish and her program at the Oliver Wolcott Library. They're doing a teen book club. It is open to all students in grades 7 through 12. And there's a different book each month. And the cool thing is at the end of the month, you get to meet the author virtually of the book that you read. So for the month of October, the book is Radium Girls by Kate Moore. So if you participate in that, you can meet her on October 27th. And the book tells the true story of women who were working in factories painting watches. And one of these factories was in Waterbury. And they were using this paint that gave off radiation and was really bad. And they were told by their employer that the paint was totally safe. They were actually supposed to lick their brushes to get like a nice fine point for painting the watches. And many of them got terribly sick and even died from the radiation, and it ended up being a landmark case in workers' rights and their ability to sue their employers for damages for work-related injuries and illnesses. So, if you're interested in that, you can go to the Oliver Wolcott Library website, owlibrary.org, or just go right into the library itself to get a hard copy of the book, or they have an electronic copy that you can use in your device or on a e-reader. Right? So check it out. All right, next up, we've got another guest reader. It is our superintendent of schools for Litchfield Public Schools and Region 6, and that is Chris Leone reading a selection from a book for you. Take it away, Mr. Leone.
Greetings, everyone. Mr. Eckert was kind enough to invite me to participate in National Banned Book Week. I am proud to be reading The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. I thank Mr. Eckert for his selection, but moreover, the selection talks about hope and talks about something that we all have been dealing with, which is the hope of a better tomorrow as we go through a pandemic, in our case. The green kite hovered directly above us now. He's going for it any time now, I said, my eyes flicking from Sorab to our kite. The green kite hesitated, held position, then shot down. Here he comes, I said. I did it perfectly, after all these years, the old lift and dive trap. I loosened my grip and tugged on the string, dipping and dodging the green kite. A series of quick sidearm jerks, and our kite shot up counterclockwise in a half circle. Suddenly I was on top. The green kite was scrambling now, panic-stricken, but it was too late. I had already slipped him Hassan's trick. I pulled hard and our kite plummeted. I could almost feel our string sawing his. Almost heard the snap. Then just like that, the green kite was spinning and wheeling out of control. Behind us, people cheered, whistles, and applause broke out. I was painting. The last time I felt a rush like that was that day in the winter of 1975, just after I had cut the last kite, when I spotted Baba on our rooftop, clapping, beaming. I looked down at Sorab. One corner of his mouth had curled up just so, a smile. Lopsided, hardly there, but there. Behind us, kids were scampering, and a melee of screaming kite runners was chasing the loose kite drifting high above the trees. I blinked, and the smile was gone. But it had been there. I had seen it. Do you want me to run that kite for you? His Adam's apple rose and fell as he swallowed. The wind lifted his hair. I thought I saw him nod. For you, 1,000 times over, I heard myself say. Then I turned and ran. It was only a smile, nothing more. It didn't make everything all right. It didn't make anything all right. Only a smile, a tiny thing. A leaf in the woods, shaking in the wake of a startled bird's flight. But I'll take it, with open arms, because when spring comes, melts the snow one flake at a time, and maybe I just witnessed the first flake melting. I ran, a grown man running with a swarm of screaming children, but I didn't care. I ran with the wind blowing in my face, and a smile as wide as the valley of Panjir on my lips. I ran. Thank you, everyone. Stay healthy, stay strong, keep living forward, keep reading books.
All right. Thank you again, Superintendent Leone, for taking the time to read for us and for sharing that positive message. So, we are now coming to the conclusion of Banned Books Week, but there is still one more thing in store, and that is some banned books trivia, just for fun. So, if you're interested in participating, advisory teachers, you have the choice whether if you have a lot of people that want to play and you want to put it up on the smart board, or if it's just individual students want to play on their devices, they're able to do that. It's going to be a Kahoot that I present through a Google Meet. So for grades 9 and 10, we're playing at 11:20. And for grades 11 and 12, we're playing at 12:20. And in order to join, go to Google Meets and put in the code LHS banned books. And then you'll be into the meet. We'll display the Kahoot, the questions, and you can play along on your phone to play along. All right, so thanks again, everybody who joined us this week for Banned Books. I want to give a special thank you to all of our guests, Superintendent Chris Leone, Oliver Wolcott Library Youth Librarian Tricia Moore, Center School Librarian Joanna Moore, and the Litchfield Historical Society Education Coordinator, Kate Zullo. And also a big thank you to Miss Carlson, who helped organize and recruit students and staff for the Freedom to Read statement on Monday. And also, of course, a big thank you to the students and staff who took some time to participate in that. All right, so for the last time this week, I am saying peace out, continue exploring your ideas, and remember that you decide for yourself what you read and what you believe. Thanks, everybody.